So it is raining controversies, raining a lot of news for the Congress. But is this even good news? The same Congress that for the longest time, remember, has really been looking for that one mudda, that mudda number one that can ensure that it gets traction, it gets resonance. Now, even as the grand old party was dousing fires ignited by the idea of wealth redistribution, there is now yet another battlefront that has opened up. That too from overseas. But the enemy, like I said in the beginning of the entire show, is not the BJP. The enemy is within. It's the chairman of the Indian Overseas Congress, Sam Pitroda, who's not only backed the party's stand on redistribution of wealth, but he goes a step ahead. Now, what does he do? He is advocating an inheritance tax law. Citing an American inheritance laws with India's, he says that he thinks that the US laws that actually grab 55% of any person's wealth after he dies are fair. He says this is kosher, and an idea that needs to be discussed and debated.
Let me tell you, in America, there is an inheritance tax. One has $100 million worth of wealth, and when he dies, he can only transfer probably 45% to his children. 55% is grabbed by government. Now, that's an interesting law. It says, you in your generation made wealth. You are leaving now. You must leave your wealth for public. Not all of it, half of it. Which to me sounds fair. In India, you don't have that. If somebody is worth 10 billion and he dies, his children get 10 billion. Public get nothing. These are the kind of issues people will have to debate, discuss.
And as expected, because you've given a full toss, the Prime Minister has quickly latched onto this entire reaction, and he says this exposes the real mindset of the Congress.
शाही परिवार के शाहजादे के सलाहकार, इस शाही परिवार के शाहजादे के पिताजी के भी सलाहकार, उन्होंने कुछ समय पहले कहा था, और ये परिवार उन्हीं की बात मानता है। उन्होंने कहा था कि हमारा देश का जो मिडिल क्लास है, मध्यम वर्गीय लोग हैं, जो मेहनत करके कमाते हैं, उन्होंने कहा उन पर ज्यादा टैक्स लगना चाहिए। ये इन्होंने पब्लिकली कहा है। अब ये लोग उससे भी एक कदम आगे चले गए हैं। अब कांग्रेस का कहना है कि वो इनहेरिटेंस टैक्स लगाएगी। माता पिता से मिलने वाली विरासत पर भी टैक्स लगाएगी। आप जो अपनी मेहनत से संपत्ति जुटाते हैं, वो आपके बच्चों को नहीं मिलेगी, बल्कि कांग्रेस सरकार का पंजा उसे भी आपसे छीन लेगा। यानी कांग्रेस का मंत्र है कांग्रेस की लूट। कांग्रेस का मंत्र है कांग्रेस की लूट, जिंदगी के साथ भी और जिंदगी के बाद भी।
So the Prime Minister, remember, raking up that entire issue, something that really has put the Congress on the back foot. Had it not, what explains multiple attempts through the last many hours by the Congress's top brass to actually put out an explanation? This is damage control. In fact, Jairam Ramesh has taken to the social media multiple times, and he is, writing the fact that this is not an idea in the Congress's manifesto. This is created by the BJP. In fact, he goes on to cite multiple examples of how the previous BJP governments under NDA and multiple finance ministers have backed inheritance tax. And in the middle of all this, he also does say that what Sam Pitroda has said is not a version that the Congress party itself believes in.
While he's free to say whatever he has to say on issues on which he feels strongly, it's not always that he reflects the views of the Indian National Congress. And on this particular issue also, he's not reflecting the official position of the Indian National Congress. But I think what is happening is his comments are torn out of context and they're being sensationalized in order to divert attention from the Prime Minister's deliberate mischievous and malicious, poison-ridden campaign. A desperate prime minister, a nervous prime minister, is trying to divert attention away from the real issues and sensationalize comments of people like Mr. Pitroda.
But Jairam Ramesh is silent on how a man like Sam Pitroda is allowed to make multiple comments like this and the party takes no action. Something again that the BJP has raked up. Multiple union ministers, multiple spokespersons of the BJP say that this is the real intention of the Congress.
कांग्रेस पार्टी ने घोषित किया है एक एक व्यक्ति की कितनी कमाई है, पहले वो एक एक व्यक्ति की कमाई नापेंगे, तोलेंगे, घर का कागज, बाग का कागज, महिला घर में कितना पैसा रखी है, कितना सोना पहनी है, सोना मंगलसूत्र में है या दादी की नथनिया में है कि कंगन में है। कांग्रेस पार्टी ने ऐलान किया है सबकी कितनी कमाई है, सबके घर में क्या क्या पड़ा है, सबकी गिनती करेंगे। अब हम भी जानते हैं कांग्रेस वालों ने एक बार किसी की संपत्ति ले ली तो मात्र अपनी जेब भरी है, गरीब तक कभी पैसा नहीं पहुंचाया है।
So is Sam Pitroda really Congress's curse? Should there be action against him? Or as the BJP alleges, here the Congress is working according to a sinister plan, or is Charu Pragya and her party, the BJP, trying to manipulate what the Congress has not said? It's good to have Charu Pragya back on the show. She's the spokesperson of the BJP. Abhishek Banerjee is an author and columnist joining us on the broadcast along with Kailash Adhikari, MD Governance Now. Also, very good to have Shyam Prasad Mekhaji, senior leader of the Congress, also joining us after a long time. Tariq Khan is the national spokesperson of the SP, completing our panel. And without wasting time, Charu, I was just wondering, should we ask you whether you are more guilty or Mr. Mekha is more guilty? But then I must, I think, start by getting Mr. Mekha into the conversation. Because Mr. Mekha, though it's good to have you back on the show after a long time, but tell me something. You always wanted to be in the news, as in the Congress. You wanted to set the agenda. You've done that. But see at what cost? And why are you tolerating someone like a Sam Pitroda of the Hua to Hua moment?
Deepti, thank you for the grand welcome. Okay. So, Jai Bhim to all my co-panelists and to you and the viewers. Let me tell you, see, Sam Pitroda or Shyam Prasad Mekha or anybody in Congress can can voice their opinions because we are a democratic party, right? So, we are unlike BJP. So, similar thing, right? I will ask, a very senior BJP leader is saying Prime Minister doesn't know ABC of economics. Did the BJP take any action on him? What is BJP doing about it? So we leave individual opinions there. We have a manifesto here. We have the manifesto, right? This is what we are going to the people. Let's debate our manifesto versus BJP's manifesto. What are we trying to do?
You're saying Sam Pitroda does not matter. I get it. I get it, Mr. Mekha. You're speaking about democracy, a lot of other things.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, he doesn't matter. You're saying he doesn't matter. It's the BJP that's making him relevant. So, Charu, you've done so much of Vikas. There is so much else that the BJP can talk about. But why are you making this first the Hindu versus Muslim binary? Why are you twisting Congress's manifesto? Why are you speaking about something that is not in their manifesto is the charge, Charu?
Deepti, a very good evening to you. Now, since we are discussing the manifesto, let's put it into perspective. Point 1 in the Congress manifesto, making personal laws stronger. Which personal law would that be? Basically, the Muslim personal law. The second thing, now, Mr. Mekha says that none of this is written in the manifesto, but are you trying to tell me that Mr. Gandhi did not say exactly this just a week ago when he talked about redistribution of wealth in India? So, Deepti, basically, this is the bottom line in Congress. If you are a Muslim, if you are a minority in this country, you have your money, you work hard, you give it to your children, that's up to you. But if you're majority in this country, you work hard, you make money, you want to save for your children, You can't do that because Mr. Pitroda, Mr. Gandhi and everybody else in the Congress wants to take away 55% of it. This is their idea. Now Mr. Pitroda is an old senior leader of the Congress, but he does not know that even in the US there is no inheritance tax. There is no federal inheritance tax in the United States of America also. 6 states में है, localized tax है, but maybe you guys don't understand that. जो अपना ही manifesto पढ़ के उसी के answers नहीं दे पाता, वो किसी और देश के laws के बारे में क्या answer देगा? Lastly and most importantly, Deepti, you know, India did have an inheritance tax. When was it abolished? It was abolished in 1984.
80s, yes.
You know why was it abolished? When Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister, in his first budget, he abolished that tax because our former Prime Minister, Indira Gandhi, died and left her assets, her entire estate, at that point worth $173,000 to her grandchildren. He abolished inheritance tax because his children should not pay any taxes.
Charu,
But for any other
I think where you're going is going to be a huge debate anyways. Yes, it's going to be a huge debate anyways of where you're going. So I'll just request you to, you know, take a pause there. I want to quickly get in the SP before I get in both Kailash Adhikari and also Abhishek into this conversation. Tariq Khanji, do you support what the Congress has said, the entire idea of the inheritance tax? Do you welcome it or are you against it?
The idea of socialism is to bring equality in different section of the society. But we have lots of means, policies to do that. And we don't need anything like this to bring equality in different sections of the society.
So Tariq ji, let's not mince our words. Let me ask you the second obvious question. Why should the Congress not sack a Sam Pitroda? How can they just distance themselves and be done away with it? You clearly do not agree with it. You're in alliance with the Congress in Uttar Pradesh. So you should tell Mr. Mecca, your good friend, कि ऐसे नहीं चलेगा.
If all these things is so important for Congress, it should be in their manifesto. It's very simple. If somebody is saying what he is saying, it's completely irrelevant. What Sam Pitroda is saying is completely irrelevant. If these things is so important for Congress, they should have included it in their manifesto. Just recently they have launched their manifesto. So why didn't they have included all those things? We have lots of means, we have lots of process to bring equality in different sections of the society.
No, it's fancy to come on national television say about equality, no? Then people will also ask कि जितना समय कांग्रेस ने राज किया देश के ऊपर, तब कहाँ थी equality? Questions will also go out to the BJP whether they've manipulated everything. Mr. Mecca is holding out the manifesto, I think, and with the permission of Abhishek and Kailash, I will quickly head into a break because on the other side we'll just decode what this fuss is all about. And like I said, this is not the first offense, not the first gaffe by Sam Pitroda. You recall, during the 84 riots also he had said hua to hua. And many believe that this could again be the turning point of this election on the other side. We will continue this conversation. Welcome back. So we are discussing what really is the merit in what Sam Pitroda has said. The Congress has decided to distance itself. Is that good enough? Or is the BJP really trying to stretch things here far beyond imagination? Charu, Abhishek Banerjee, Kailash Adhikari, Mr. Mecca and Tariq Khan continue to stay with us. And without wasting time, Kailash, first to you. How do you read the timing, what has been said so far, and the way the BJP has quickly lapped onto this? Do you think this benefits the BJP, or as the Congress says, this is just a distraction technique?
You know, every morning or every day that I feel that Congress has put a last nail in the coffin, the next day arrive and I believe that either they have got more nails or the coffin has got bigger. Because every day there is a nail in the coffin that they keep on hanging there. Now, with all due respect to Mr. Sam Pitroda, who is a senior leader of the Congress party, I think being the president of the Indian Overseas Congress, his understanding of the domestic affairs and the pulse of Bharat and the understanding of the Indian voter as well as India, I think has dwindled over a period of time. And he believes that comparing the world's largest democracy to America and the culture or the system there and the way two countries think, he's just making an apple-to-apple comparison, which is not at all right. And I mean, straight away talking like this, and we all know the kind of connections and the kind of relations that Mr. Sam Pitroda has with the Congress party over the entire 2004 to 14, the kind of important positions that he has held. So one cannot deny that what he told, and the party cannot just brush off that it is his personal beliefs or his personal views. No.
Okay, so Kailash really believes that the damage has been done, because I have limited time and I want to give the closing words to Mr. Mecca. But before that, Abhishek, how do you read into what has happened so far, Abhishek?
Yeah, Padmaja, so it is very sad that the hard left socialist ideas of the 50s, 60s, 70s are back. So I just want to explain very quickly, step by step, how these ideas destroyed the country. You see, after the British left, the Congress started implementing these socialist ideas, but everything was just getting worse. Even in Bengal, there was a shortage of rice, and then Nehru's police had to shoot down the protesters in General Dyer style. And things were, and you know, they ran out of milk, and Calcutta had to ban rasgullas. So what happened next was that the Congress party started looking for scapegoats, that who to blame for increase in poverty. So Indira Gandhi says, why are people poor? That's because the private banks have stolen all the money. So in 1969, she goes and she nationalizes all the private banks. Then, you know, in 71 and 72, Indira Gandhi gets this young so-called great economist from abroad. His name is Dr. Manmohan Singh. She brings him in as chief economic advisor. And then together the Indira and Manmohan team, what they do is they say that why are people poor? So they raise the top tax rate to 97%. What does that do? It creates more black money and corruption. Okay. So now they're looking for more scapegoats. So they say, okay, so well, where is all the money? Then they start attacking the middle class. They create something called the compulsory deposit scheme, where you have to take almost 18% of your income and just deposit it with the government. Still people are poor, poverty is getting worse. So what is the next step they do? They say that, well, India is poor because foreign companies are stealing all our profits. So they passed the FERA, the Foreign Exchange Regulation Act in 1974, and they throw all these foreign companies out of India. Still India is getting poorer. So then Indira Gandhi and Manmohan Singh, what do? Is they next say that people don't have food because private traders have hidden all the grain. So they nationalize the wheat production, the wheat distribution.
Abhishek,
and then
apologies, I'm interrupting you here. This is Deepthi, but I quickly need to give the last word to Mr. Mecca. Mr. Mecca, look at this. You know, even in a minute or 1.5 minutes, Abhishek could go on and on talking about the ills and how the Congress has really practiced this quote-unquote poor politics. Should you pinch yourself and realize that this is a new India, Mr. Mecca? Take 30 seconds and we'll close the debate.
No, yeah, Deepthi, I want you and the viewers to understand we are looking at a new India. Forget about all these old arguments and which are useless arguments. And our friend currently is saying that from 60s, 70s, all that nonsense. He is calling Manmohan Singh so-called economist. It's okay. Your narrative is to paint Congress as some sort of a anti-Hindu. Okay, fine. You go ahead, do it. We will continue with our narrative.
But Mr. Mecca, see, you forget the opposition, forget the media, forget anyone else, sir. I'm only interrupting you here to remind you that Sam Pitroda is your insider. He's Congress. He's not the BJP, sir. Why is he allowed to say something like this and get away if you do not agree with what he said?
What is BJP doing about Subramania Swamy? Did BJP expel him? They didn't know. So don't talk all this nonsense.
Okay.
People will speak. People are free to speak their ideas. Like Prime Minister Narendra Modi has done the Notbandi.
Okay. All right. Mr.
But
Mecca?
Unfortunately, he didn't discuss it. He just implemented it. That is the problem.
Okay. Mr. Mecca says people will speak. Charu, I've completely run out of time. Apologies, I'm not able to come back to you, but I thank you and all gentlemen for joining us. And we'll continue to track whether this damages the Congress more, or can the Congress really get away with a remark like that. Thank you for watching. On the other side, back with lots.